talk about Kenyan Politricks or Kenyan politics. As you know, in this channel, will talk about Kenyan politics, or should I say Kenyan Politricks, and also world news as it relates to Kenya, okay? Because everything is interrelated, as you know. But today I'll be very brief because I'm waiting on Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur's game. So it starts in about an hour. So I will be brief, but I just want to touch on a few things. Some of the things we've talked about. So it's kind of a continuation. I'm sharing some influencers' sentiments that I associate myself with. So we can see that there are people who are not buying into some of these political figures in Kenya, what they're trying to sell us. Remember yesterday I talked to you about how all of a sudden, to quote Kibaki, these people are clever. Or let me just say, all of a sudden, some of these guys, they can see that Ruto's ship is sinking and it's sinking fast. And they might be, probably, more than likely, a popular revolution in place that's coming. And they're now jumping ship. Or some of them just realize that, hey, listen, Ruto is not sharing the pie. So they've started talking smack about him. Case in point, Linturi. Linturi today came out and, was talking about, I've listened to the ground, and the ground said Ruto must go. So I'm just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, you can't be sticking up with Ruto when he appoints you to be the CS of agriculture, whatever the case is. Then once you're fired or whatever the case is happening, unatoka. Hey, Mabri ametoka Rome. Hi, Mabri, karibu sana. I haven't seen you. Hit that like button. By the way, before I get it. In fact, Mabri, I might bring you in just for a short time. But just give me a second. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go on, before I even get started, the first order of business, if you still don't know by now, the first order of business is what? Like the video. Before even you do anything, like the video. So go ahead, like the video if you're going to watch this on repeat and you just started watching. The first order of business, I have to remind you, is to like the video. And if this is your first time and you like Kenyan politics or international politics as it relates to Kenya, please go ahead and subscribe, share, comment, and all the good stuff. Okay? So, very quickly, like I said, I have to watch that Liverpool versus Hotspurs game, Tottenham. But before it gets started, I will be talking about some stuff. Let's start with the Tuoli. Let me just give you a general view of what I'll be talking about today. Of course, Mabri have reminded us that, there's something happening in Rome. Obviously, the Pope's funeral is happening. And among the dignitaries that were in Rome to attend the Pope's funeral was none other than Ruto. And he was I'm back. All right, guys. Let me see if I'm still on, because the people who try to scuttle this coverage are working overtime, but we are going to get through this. Okay, we're going to get through. Okay. But anyway, let's see what's going on over here. Just give me a second. Let me fix something. Let me just make sure everything is working correctly, so you can get me and you can receive this live stream. Let's get it. So what I'm trying to say is this. Of course, Ruto is still in Rome. I don't know if he flew back yet. Nothing real there to really report. It just looks ridiculous. So there's nothing. Okay, there's no sound. All right. Actually, there is sound. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going through some technical difficulties. Just give me a second. Let me fix this real quick, guys. Give me a second. Bear with me. I'm about to fix it. Karibuni sana. Like the video while I fix this problem. It's just a minor technical glitch that's happening. Karibuni sana. I see you guys. I'll be very brief today. Like I said, I'll be very brief. I might bring Mabry in to give me 2 cents. You know, Mabry always is my correspondent, okay? Ananipatia ile mambo moto, siasa moto moto ya ndani ambayo inaendelea. So I'm glad to see you, Mabry. I hope you're doing well. Yes, okay, all right. I have it fixed. So anyway, the things that I wanted to talk about very quickly is Atwoli was speaking today, and he's still pushing this idea of, the government managing what is to be posted on social media, which is a great concern to me. I think that is muzzling free speech, free expression. Q is also joining me. Karibu sana, Viva. I like the video. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you. Like I say, I was glad to see you yesterday and today. Atwoli is Atwoli. I don't know what to say about Atwoli. Atwoli needs not only to retire, Atwoli needs to, be prosecuted for the things that he has done. He is not advocating. Atwoli's job is, as the COTU leader, is supposed to advocate for the rights of workers, Kenyan workers. But Atwoli is always busy, licking the butt crack of whoever is the head of the state. Not legislative, but the executive branch of government, the president of the day. Atwoli always associates himself with the president of the day, kissing his butt and all that stuff. Atwoli is a disgrace, and that's an understatement. But again, he's not the only one who has echoed such sentiments. He's always saying that he's advocating for this idea of, controlling what Kenyans post on social media. This is something that we have to stand very, 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 very strongly against. Okay, because I think it was Murkomen or Aaron Cheriot also said something like this. These guys are threatened by this whole idea of social media, because that's how these Gen Zs are actually communicating and are sharing ideas and are coming up with different ways of countering this government that seems to be very, 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 against the people. So here's Atwoli with his speech when he was like, really, I don't know, this guy, Atwoli is something else. I'm telling you, Atwoli is something else. Let's listen to Atwoli very quickly before we get in. Meanwhile, I'm just going to give you guys, for those of you who are joining us, please go ahead. The first order of business, like I told you, is to like the video, subscribe, share, comment, do all the good stuff. All right? Let's just listen to what Atwoli said, then I'll break it down, and you guys can help me also on the chat. Give me what you think. Tell me what you think. And if there's any news that is breaking, please, I'll be more than welcome to chime in or welcome you in and give us your 2 cents about what is happening. All right, let's listen to Atwoli's crap. Let me make it bigger China, so you can actually see what's going on. All right.
Hata hii TikTok ni ya China. Na yao wana control, sio kama hii yenu wamemwachia. And the church must speak about TikTok.
Right, there you go.
The church must speak about social media. The church must speak about YouTube.
All right, let's get started. All right, this thing is delaying.
Na hii kitu inaitwa social media. Mimi naambia nyinyi, hakuna China, it's controlled. Hata hii TikTok ni ya China. Na yao wana control, sio kama hii yenu wamemwachia. And the church must speak about TikTok. The church must speak about social media. The church must speak about YouTube. The church must take the leading. Mtoto mdogo anafungua simu, ukifungua simu na wamejua. Anaona mtu iko film ndani, baba anajifanya anangojea chakula. Mama akifungua mlango kule anatoka huko vile alizaliwa. Mtoto anaangalia. Yale maneno wanaongea kwa TikTok. We can't have such a society. We can't. Now watu wa social media, young men, they have never worked anywhere. They have never been members of any union. Utaona vile wana comment, mambo ya trade union, mambo ya Minister of Labor, mambo ya kunyanyaswa, incitement on social media. And I'm saying this, if government and we people who are in public life cannot loudly speak, you will see it. Kwenda Goma sasa, huko Kongo, mtu anatoka na mbuzi na mtoto yake na kondoo moja, wanakimbia na safari wanaenda ni mbali, nafika kwa njia na drop hizo makondoo na nini, anarudi kwa mtoto yake, wanatafuta usalama. Most hata hapa Dubai WhatsApp huwezi communicate nayo vile mna communicate nayo hapa. The media is controlled. Some of the things we should be regretting, kwa nini hatuna special branch yetu ilikuwa wakati wa Moi, wakati wa Kenyatta, ya kumonitor everything. It was good for the country. Tukapigana, tunataka second liberation, tunataka nini? Sasa muangalie pahali tumeingia. Content ya social media to the young people, to the youth, to the population is not conducive and cohesive to a nation that is to aspire to higher heights economically, socially, and politically. Third rebirth, third attempt on rebirth. Utaamuka kwa nyumba yako, there is nowhere you can go. Na ukienda unaona tu hii risasi inapita. If that is what you people want, watch a social media, watch what I'm seeing on YouTube and TikTok, iendelee. Never say a workers representative must speak for Africa, speak in the world. I'm number 2. Francis Atwell did not mention this. I will not be there. If I will be there, maybe those people will sympathize with my age at that particular time and say, wewe mzee, wacha njaa ikuue hapo because you can't run. Government must do something to regulate social media. And we must talk about it. Juzi kanisa kama hii, mimi naangalia hii, nifungua hiyo kitu ya social media. Mama anatoka kwa kanisa kama hii. Iko hiyo film hiyo naona hiyo. Anafika hapa, mwingine anakuja na choka ingine kwa chupa. Anaipitisha round hivi. Na huyo mama yuko na bwana. Anaambia huyu mama, wewe mama, if you have never cheated your husband, toka kwa hii sako. Toka kwa hii sako saa hii. You are going to die. Toka kwa hii sako. Mzaa amebeba Biblia hivi. Mama naangalia, anasema kweli, huyu bwana yangu alipokuwa Amerika ama alikuwa wapi, nilimpa mtu haki ama nilisonga karibu na mtu. It's natural. Sasa hii kana matemoshi na kana. Hii ni mambo gani hii? Sasa bwana anamwambia wewe toka. Wewe you have never cheated on me. You are my wife, I trust you. Bibi amekatalia pale hivi. Hii kitu social media is a bad thing. It's teaching people things that are not normal.
Okay, that's Atwoli's matamshi yake. I don't know if my link is working because, you know, maybe I need to like update this nino. Yeah, I had my thing on mute. Thank you, Q. Anyway, so that's Atwoli's take. He's basically saying that social media should be regulated in Kenya. And he gave an example of China, that the Chinese government regulates the social media. But again, Atwoli is not... maybe he doesn't know about what the Constitution says. us with regards to, freedom of expression, freedom of speech. You can't. Our constitution gives us the right to express ourselves in whichever form, as long as you're not, harming somebody, causing harm, or kumharibia mtu jina. Actually, speaking of that, Nelson Harvey, and of course, Nelson Harvey can not use the same argument. Nelson Harvey was reprimanded, or was for judicial misconduct, something like that, misconduct, for accusing a particular lawyer of being corrupt. And that lawyer said that, Nelson Harvey was posting, malicious stuff against him in social media. And, he won the case. So, my audio still? Is my audio okay? Hopefully I'm audible now. Yes, but so, yeah, so in some cases, again, just to clarification. Okay, let me bring, I think I have somebody here. So in some cases, let's say you can, if you're posting general, wananchi wakipost against Ruto or Nani or Atuoli, that is simply expressing your view regarding an issue. You cannot be taken to court for that. Okay, that's freedom of expression. Watu wakieka kasongo wakiwa uchi or whatever the case is, that is not something that you can be taken to court for that. Even though people are being taken to court for that, but it's not something that you can. It's an easy argument to make and win the case. But anyway, I have Mabri here, so I want to hear from Mabri. Mabri, tafadhali, give me what's going on. Siku mingi sana ndugu yangu. Go ahead.
Good evening. How is everyone?
Good evening. I'm good, thank you.
It's been a moment. By the way, a lot has been happening. The last time I was here, niliacha ku accommodate people who are threatening us, and I decided to stay away kwanza kidogo. I don't want anyone who is trying to make me love Ruto.
Who was threatening us?
Anyway, it's been a while. I've been good. Of course, I missed being here. Ni shughuli hapa kule.
Okay, naelewa ndugu yangu. Yes, so please keep me updated. What has been happening?
I think tu siasa za kawaida. First of all, of course, you saw what was happening in Rome. Wetangula went to represent Ruto, who was in China, only for Ruto to appear in the same occasion. So Wetangula went to represent someone who was in the same occasion. So I'm wondering, what sort of gimmicks are we being played at here? Anyway, I think something else worth noting. I'm listening to Atwoli and I'm thinking, like, a grown-up cannot speak like Atwoli, of course, because, there's no way you are going to regulate, like, social media. We are not in the Moi era, of course. During the Moi era, they used to send letters, if I'm not wrong. Phones were only accessible to the minority who perhaps had like a lot of money, like few families could afford phone. So for Atwoli to stand and start saying that during their time social media was being regulated, I want him to quote me, when was TikTok when was TikTok discovered in Kenya? When was WhatsApp discovered in the world? When was even YouTube discovered? By the time all these things are discovered, Atwoli was still a chair of Kotu. And by the way, he would be busy protecting the people, like the workers of this nation who are being like exploited day in, day out. He should be busy protecting the pay slip.
Yes.
So, Atwoli is just a confused element. And then unamsikia akisema I'm sorry to say, and I'm not mincing my words for any reason. Um, I heard him say, like, a young man who's never been employed is there commenting on everything. Then I'm thinking, perhaps now that we've not all been able to be chairpersons of KOTU, he should be the only person representing, like, talking matters KOTU. I believe, like, every Kenyan should give an opinion about the governance and the social life of the common mwananchi. It is us who are being affected. So if we start sugarcoating it in the name of, it's like you are not a Kenyan, you are not the president, you cannot understand, like, running this country, what it takes. That's something we cannot, like, accommodate in this era, by the way. Another thing, I feel like right now the system is desperate, of course, and right now they want to bring the finance bill. They are trying everything in and out. And if you hear Tolly speaking, you have to understand that he's not talking about social media. He's trying to bring the church in the conversation. Like, they are telling the church, control these people, because they've known the government itself cannot control the young people of this nation. And they, they, they want to bring now the morality side, whereby, like, it is so hard to attack the church because of the factor of, Jesus. I believe, as Africans, Kenya being an African state, we are like a traditional state. Um, we are more like aligned to our religion, and they control our day-to-day, day-to-day way of life. So if you listen to these politicians, it's not about the TikTok and social media. It's about, like, telling the church, you need to control for us these people because they want to bring another very lethal finance bill. And I'm telling you, kwa hiyo finance bill, hata wakisema Mabri aongeze pesa, ndaenda kwa street. I can never trust Kasongo at any given time. Like, I'm at a point whereby if Ruto comes in and tells me this is my mom, hata kama nimeishi naye for the last 30 years, that night I will start wondering, are you really my mom? Because I'm thinking, why must we borrow, by the way? What was this guy doing in China with the young man of Borneo, like the youth representative of ODM? And as much as I want to sound funny, I'm very bitter, by the way, because let's look at his trip to China and whatever happened. Ruto wants to extend the SGR, I guess, from Mai Mahiu to the western side. Of course, I know.
Malaba through Kisumu to Malaba or something. Yeah.
Yes. Now I'm thinking this is the same person who stood up and said he will not borrow. Like, again, you remember something very crucial. Just the other day, they came with big words saying that they paid a chunk of the loan. So Kenya, like, is doing good in terms of loan repayment. And now Didinyoro came in and told us we borrowed a 10 billion to repay 5 billion.
Wow. Yeah. Actually, I think Jimmy Wanjigi will be on Spice FM tomorrow. I think he'll be addressing all that borrowing stuff. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But now, when it comes to a point whereby even you as a person, you borrow from Mabri, to repay someone like Kip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Kenya is on Nini. Kenya is coming, by the way, and we are failing at a very high rate, because I'm thinking from where I'm standing, I'm thinking, like, now that we've borrowed more, and it is expected, because from what Mbadi said, You know, we expect this Raila Odinga technocrat to come up with solutions. So from what Mbadi said is that from 2032 to, I guess, 2048, Kenya will not be repaying any loan. Then I'm thinking, right now we are suffering as a mwananchi, and
Yeah.
of course, whatever money we are going to borrow, it has like a repayment schedule and it has a deadline, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking of
Yeah.
when we are saying uh, Kenya between 2032 and 2048, we won't be repaying any loan? Does that mean we will have paid our loan like
Right.
completely?
Right. Which is mostly.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Ruto right now is playing politics with the very wrong people. You know, number one, you realize this guy is going to China when there is a war between Chinese and USA. You know,
The tariff
even
was, yeah.
the secretary of the US who was supposed to visit Kenya and he cancelled the trip. And once he went there, he started now trashing everyone, even our neighbors. He said,
Right. He's saying that wako ninio low development countries, whatever, developing countries, that is, LDC. Yeah.
yeah. Now, leave alone that. He himself starts saying that it's so hard to get compliments from Kenyans. You know,
Ay, ay, ay.
again, now when you look at in terms of Kenyan exports, and we depend highly on the US because in terms of course, we operate on a dollar, and I'm wondering. I just the other day I transacted on dollar, and it's still at 129. I believe by the next 2 months, the dollar is going to shoot to almost 200 or so. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because of course the tariffs in the US are affecting us, and as much as we want to believe that China are the big, they are the big manufacturers or rather producers of whatever goods we depend on in terms of technology. I
Yes.
believe that US plays a big role because, of course, they've been an open market to Chinese, and now
Mhm.
China has decided to go ile inaitwa kufa dereva kufa makanga.
Yeah.
Like, they know they have the wherewithal, that's okay, but I believe Ruto is trending on a very crazy route. Na hata shinda, by the way. You don't
Yeah.
invade a global conflict like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, this comes few days after Rigathi amesema Ruto is financing war in Sudan.
Yeah. Bile
So I,
ameshikana na ile was it what are they called? R something.
we
That's
are at
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm looking forward to the Tuesday's expose by BBC.
By
You
who?
now sit and they are releasing a documentary on what happened on Nini.
Oh, the BBC one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, so what do you make of I mean Uhuru Kenyatta alikuja akaambia vijana wa mke to defend their country. Everyone seems to be, kila mtu ni Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen Z. What do you make about Neo?
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, you know, one thing, of course, I believe in the call because it's high time young people stood up for their countries, you know. Look at what has happened to Burkina Faso. And of course, we are arranging a solidarity move with the Burkinabe president, Traore, you know. But
Yes.
no person uttering the word is the person I cannot trust, you know, because this is the same person who is using our own money to sponsor Matiangi to stand for the same seat. You know, this is the same person, this government. By the way, whatever shit we are in right now, I cannot blame Ruto only because the Kenyattas, and I told you the other day what the Kenyattas did. Although Uhuru wants to play his term was so smooth. He left everything too good. You know, now it is rooting up the country. No.
Right.
That Kenyans and the young people from Africa should raise and, shout to the loudest of their voice and hold governments accountable. But we should also be wary of who is calling what, because, people can disguise to be with you and you realize they are using you because they understand better. Maybe Kenyatta understands that there's a button ikipresiwa. Some secrets will be revealed about how they used to squander money. Because, again, you realize whatever Ruto is doing right now is trying to vindicate himself, showing that during my time as the deputy president, I didn't have a say. He even went to the extent of impeaching the deputy president just to show us that the deputy president is the flower girl. So was I during the Uhuru era. So Uhuru did everything he wanted, so I can be vindicated, which is a very wrong narrative, according to me, if you ask me. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Actually, speaking of that, I think Gaito says something about hii mambo ya sasa vile mambo ya Gen Z imegeuka ni Gachagua is the story. And let me just, I think I have the clip somewhere. By the way, how is Wavinya Ndeti going? Niliona akisema ati ICC, EACC is targeting the women governors. What do you think about my friend Wavinya? Wavinya is becoming my favorite governor.
Yaliondele sipite. Okay, maybe I should brief you on what's happening in Machakos County because that's my residential county, of course.
Yeah.
And
be careful because unaona MC alipotea huko, so I don't know, usiseme kitu na wewe pia upotee.
Again, let me tell you, tutapotea, people have died since the Gen Z movement. People have died, but it's the only way we can liberate this country, If we face this government with our cowardice, the government will suppress us every day. But anyway, whatever I'm going to tell you is not like, it's not an expose. It's what has been happening. It's in the public domain. Perhaps ni wewe hujapatana nayo. So,
yeah.
So, of course, kumekuwa na vita between the governor, first of all, with his own cabinet, amekuwa kibehave kama Ruto. Every day ana reshuffle
cabinet.
In fact, he's the only governor reshuffle cabinet more than Ruto.
Wow.
Now, the MCAs try to hold him accountable. When they pass bills, they are sabotaged by the speaker. So they try to impeach the speaker for the first time. The governor called them, akawambia, we can resolve these issues amicably, and they did so. So they kept pushing, and you realize Machakos has been red flagged. It has been among the counties which has less development and corruption, a lot of corruption, This time round, they wanted to impeach the speaker, seriously. So they mobilized, sijui uliona juzi kulikuwa na vita ingine ilikuwa mbaya.
Niliona hapo mangumi na
Now, this is what is happening. Of course, the governor knows when the speaker is impeached, the next person yeye. You realize ni kama vile Ruto alifanya kuimpeach Gachagua, alionyesha watu I'm impeachable. So that's why anaweka ma MPs kwa mfuko because ashaonyesha you have power. So what I've done, the assembly, the county assembly of Machakos has been suspended, I guess for a month or so, bado ija resume. There's nothing which is happening.
Now, yeah.
Now let's come back to the politics of Machakos, of course. The member of parliament, Mavoko, and I want you to look at that guy. ukitaka hata session 40 tumuongelele, I have all the intel about him. He's my friend, but you realize this guy has been the mayor for Mavoko when now we were in Kadiani constituency. Then now the new constitution came. Now we became the Mavoko constituency. He became the MP until today. Is still the MP since 2013.
Wow.
Now Mavoko generates most revenue in Machakos County, yet we enjoy less development. Again, of course, you know, in Kenya, Mavoko has the largest voting station. Now, this guy wants to be a governor, and in 2022, of course, he was very serious, very serious. But now the party leader Wiper had like to bring him on the table with Wavinya. They had a discussion, then they had an agreement. Wavinya runs for one term and a Wiper ticket. Then come 2027, he gives the ticket to the Macau, the MP here, one Patrick Macau. Now, this is what the Kizungumkuti is. Wavinya, of course, is not going to surrender the ticket.
Yeah.
You know, because she has an ambition. Again, this guy is an MP. He enjoys less geographical region. He can only operate within Mavoko. But now he set up goons everywhere, you know, to make sure they sabotage development. In return, now Avinya has decided it's going to develop the, you know, the rural areas because he knows come 2027, it will be easier to manipulate them than focus on Mavoko and get nothing. Now, when Wavinya talks of ESCC targeting women governors, of course, it's a card which is expected because nowadays, even your wife beats you and you try to retaliate, we are like, this is an attack on women.
Right.
Like, they using the gender card.
Right.
The truth is, if you are mismanaging funds, of course, you should be impeached. How many times have we seen in the Senate impeachment motions being presented against lady governors? You remember the Waiguru case? She was vindicated. Kawera Mwangaza.
Yeah.
She vindicated, like she has been saved by the Senate almost a record 3 times. And now, every time the motion is there, the conversation changes. Like you want to attack women, you know, you want to attack. But look
Right.
at the last Mike Sonko, you know, and these other governors. They were impeached like directly. There was no gender card. So Wavinya is just using that as a you know, I don't know which, like it's just anatafuta tu excuse na sympathy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, here's the video. I want I like this video because I think Gaito anaeleza vizuri now to the national politics for a second.
Oh, okay.
What Ninio, what how we moved from Ruto must go and we found ourselves mambo ya Gachagua. How Gachagua kind of I don't know why this is not playing. You come on the screen. Hold on. Speak up. Dang it. Can you see the screen, Nani? Mabri.
Hey.
Ay. Okay. Kuna shida hapa kidogo, lakini bear with me. I don't know why it's not. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Hold on. Crap. Anyway, I'm having
we were never about whatever. Gachagua has desperately tried to dismiss it. What I can see, to get away with
all right.
So we have from that intellectual eye and come below because one and only Gachagua. Gachagua has been the biggest liability. He has been the biggest problem. He has been the biggest problem that we have faced.
Do. Shit, all right. Pole. Okay. We are having trouble. Poleni sana. Poleni sana.